What's going on, Aquarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just epic, Aquarius, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey, because it's a General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, something like that, Aquarius. I'm so worried. These dance moves, I gotta get them locked in. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. There's great energy all around here, Aquarius. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies, people, as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching Aquarius, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you enjoy them. Let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, interesting. This card's been going around a little bit, because you got the fourth card of Taurus here, which is the Birdcage card. And with this card, this is a card of possessive, codependent, cling, restless, oblivious, controlled, single way, want freedom, without consent, dominion, watched, hostage, confined, jealous, trapped, and predator. And the energy that's coming through here, Aquarius, is the without consent. And if you have something, or if you find yourself in a situation where I feel like that others are kind of doing things without your consent, whether that be, whatever this may be translating into the Aquarius, I feel like there's something, we want to make sure that there is this conversation of like, I feel that's definitely something we need to kind of talk about there. You know, it's like if someone is doing something that, yeah, just without giving your permission or anything along those lines, whether they may be taking advantage of whatever this might seem like, then I feel like definitely some boundaries need to be drawn with there. And this is something where we, because that's some tough energy there, Aquarius. And this may be something that has been maybe going on for a little while. Maybe it started as something like real kind of harmless at first, or I don't want to say harmless, but it seemed maybe innocuous at the time. We can just kind of let this go. However, it just feels like that something has like escalated in a sense, you know, like it's been definitely like something's been kind of pushed here as of late. And yeah, we definitely want to, I feel like, put some walls up there. I feel like it like really kind of make sure that we're drawing a line in the sand as far as just like what we are okay with and what we're not okay with when it comes to your consent, because we always want consent when it comes to anything in life, Aquarius. And just to be fair, we want to pay attention to it on both sides, you know. And I'm not necessarily feeling like it's anything extreme, but just something to definitely be mindful of there, Aquarius. But let's get some care on this so I can get some more details with this. Thank you. What's going on here, Aquarius? right, interesting. All right, so you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, and then the Page of Swords here. Been a lot of Hierophant energy going around here too, and I feel like for some that there's been this energy of. For some, it's like I've been feeling we may have been maybe so, it's like something has started. It almost feels like that with this energy. It's like with the Page of Swords. It's like we noticed something initially, and it started off slow. Maybe it was something again. Maybe it was innocuous at first. Like maybe like a. Because partway I am getting this level of harassment that is kind of coming through here, Aquarius, and wherever this is kind of applying at, especially if this is like in like maybe like a workspace, for example. I feel like we want to definitely kind of brush up on what guidelines are at and what procedures that we may need to take, because I get where we may have things that we need to take care of, or any sort of like we have like the burdens of like bills and things like that, but I feel like nothing is quite worth that messing up your kind of going against your wishes here with the Nine of Cups being here, because this can be like a wish card in a sense. But I feel like that there's this idea, this thing that it's like we need to kind of slow whatever this energy is. These things need to kind of slow down a little bit, because I'm even getting this indifference that's kind of coming through here with the Four of Cups, and however this is being received, it does feel like that it's something that we are reaching like we're about to reach a breaking point, and that things are about to like it's like get out of hand in the sense of like that, like maybe like an argument would like ensue, or like something along those lines, or some like real sort of like it's like we've been keeping things kind of like bottled up in a sense, maybe just kind of letting things go, but now it's kind of like reached ahead here. And I even feel like for some that maybe if we're kind of in like a weird sort of like in like a tricky situation right now, we're not sure how to go about this. It even feels like with the Hierophant being here, maybe this is someone where we reach out to someone for some kind of guidance, or maybe some sort of like some sort of like advice, whether this be like maybe it's legal advice, maybe this is I'm just not knowing the extent of the situation here. Let me get a little bit more on this Nine of Cups here. What's going on with that, Aquarius? All right, so the Nine of Cups is clarified by the Three of Cups, the Strength card, the the Eight of Swords, and then the Queen of Pentacles here. And I feel like that there's this energy of it does feel like that there's something being kind of taken away here with the Queen of Pentacles. That something is tapping into our resources here. And there's this, and I'm not sure if there's this. I'm getting with the Strength card almost even like this strong arming, or just like this it's like a presence, or like this domineering type of energy here, like kind of like just like kind of flexing their strength around here. And this could even be because the Three of Cups can be like a card of it can be because again, it's just like I'm getting like just like harassment vibes. Because this could be like the three of cards can be like a card of celebrations. You know, maybe it's like while we're out celebrating, you know, someone gets a little overly confident and just things kind of get out of line. Like yeah, really kind of pay attention to that, Aquarius, and that's something where you know I feel like we want to get ahead of this, whatever this thing is getting going. And maybe we're not, and again, maybe it's not something we're not sure if that applies to there. So we're just trying to keep this in, to kind of keep this more sort of internal or keep this before. But I feel like in the I wouldn't wouldn't tell you what to do. Just kind of look into that, see what sort of like policies and things kind of come into that, depending on where this if this is like a work situation, or maybe this is something where we need to, again, if this is not work, maybe we talk with a friend possibly, or whatever, that's a family member, whatever that's looking like, someone to just kind of help you kind of figure out what that kind of steps are looking like there, Aquarius. But yeah, I feel like if we keep this thing kind of bottled up there, it's just going to continue to just sap from our energies, and it's going to, you know, I feel like we just want to be careful about just, allowing others to kind of just take from you, and whatever that's looking like from you without any sort of consent there, Aquarius. And I know that may seem like just sort of like a duh, but situations, they pan out in tricky kind of ways, and who knows how this may look. It's, just something to be kind of mindful of there. But let's get another oracle on this. Oh, interesting. All right, here's one of your cards here, because you got the fourth card of you, which is the corset card. And with this card, this is a card of held together, boundaries, restriction, prim and proper, following rules, structured, buttoned up, perfect posture, holding it together, support, shapeshift, and people pleaser. And the energy that's coming through here, Aquarius, is the boundaries. And considering what we just talked about, I feel like I feel like boundaries is definitely the name of the game. This is something where we need to, I feel like there's a need to like express this, just like, hey, this is I'm not okay with this, whatever this X thing is. And if those boundaries continue to get crossed, it's just like, what does that next step look like? Are we completely, are we able to completely remove ourselves? If this is a job thing, are we thinking about changing locations? Like how is that looking? Because I'm even sort of getting even like this kind of like this like gaslighting energy, in a sense of just like, and I only feel like that it's this is like it's this gaslighting, and almost this sort of like this. I'm even thinking about one of your other cards in this oracle deck is the optical illusion card, and there's just like this kind of like spinning this sort of like hallucination, or this like this the stories are kind of getting twisted a little bit, and it's, let me get a little bit more on this, Aquarius. All right, so you have the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Five of Cups, and then the Death card here. And it feels like that with the Six of Swords here, that there's this energy of, I feel like for some it's like we may be thinking about needing to move on from whatever this situation is, in order to, something is definitely needing to change here. And because I feel like there's a lot of emotions that are kind of coming through here with the Five of Cups. Just like things again are just like it's coming to things are coming to a head here. It's just like we're yeah, things are getting ready to boil over, but it feels like with the Knight of Wands, it's just like we're not maybe sure how to like where to channel that energy to next, like where what that next step looks like, you know, where we maybe need to move to, or maybe this is something that is it's requiring more effort and things than what we had expected to in order to get this ball rolling. But I do feel that despite the work that's needed to get put into this, again, I feel like, you know, if boundaries are being crossed and, you know, that there's, it's just, I almost am getting even like this feeling of like kind of trapped between like a rock and a hard place here for some. But let me get a little bit more, let me get a little bit more on the Knight of Wands here, Aquarius. See what's going on with that. Oh, here's your ruler. Oh, here are both of your rulers. All right, so the Knight of Wands is clarified, and that's interesting how they came out like that. So the Knight of Wands is clarified by the Six of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the World, and then the Fool here. And I do feel like that for some there is this energy of that there's this chapter is needing to close, or maybe this is something where maybe we had dealt with something in the past like this even possibly, and now there's this maybe we're seeing like signs again, you know, and it's like we're kind of reflecting on what was needed to be done last time, and maybe it's just like I'm almost getting a some it's just like why is this energy even like this if this is something that's a repeat type of thing here. It's like Six of Cups is kind of coming through. But the Queen of Cups, she's one, this is a Cancerian energy, and she reflects on her past experience because they made her who she is today. But I feel like that maybe for some it's just like that with this new thing or this, you know, this new chapter, it's just like it's either we need to move on to close this one out and move on to something new, or it's just like we're finding ourselves almost in like a repeat type of cycle here, but maybe it's translating in a different type of way. And now it's just like how do we get out of that energy, you know? And hmm, very interesting here, Aquarius. But you know, I feel like making sure that whatever is going on here, to make sure that you are putting your yourself first in this, and making sure that we are considering, you know, your safety and things like that along, and just like your mental health, your physical health, all that, even like your spiritual health. You know, maybe this is hmm. All right, but I think I'm gonna pull out of that, Aquarius. All right, let's go ahead and get your let's get your last cards. Alright, so you have the sixth card of Cancers, which is the Heart and Home card. And with this is a card of happy home, security, love, kindness, family, belonging, bliss, contentment, comfort, established, fulfilled, legacy, boundaries, affection, peace, heart's desire, and longevity. And the energy that's coming through here, Aquarius, is a security, but that is very interesting that you do got two cards here. Capricorn had something, or was the Capricorn? No, it was Libra that had something similar like that, where they had same kind of energies and like different cards here. But I do feel like one, there is a double emphasis on that, considering it was mentioned in your previous card, but I do feel like that there is this energy of need, like looking for this sense of security, that there's this, maybe this is something where if we get into like a relationship, for example, and then like, boundaries get crossed, and it's just like, how do we, and it's just like maybe we're not feeling that, haven't found that sense of security, or haven't been able to, hmm, hmm. But that's interesting, Aquarius. It seems that, let me get some tarot on this, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on with that. Hmm. All right. So you have the. All right. So you have the Nine of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and then the Sun card here, Aquarius. And let's switch back over. This reading is rather intense, and it seems like there's this longing, maybe even for this sense of security. That there's been, maybe we're the type that, you tend to give, you like to give to you give of yourself, and then it just like it seems to be taken for granted in a sense, or just like we're having troubles maybe finding those securities, or finding that security in others possibly, or however, again, this may be translating, and this just it's leading to this kind of this depression here, this sadness, this, and even essentially just even like this burnout in a sense with like the Nine of Wands, and you can see you got Nine of Wands and Ten of Wands. It's just like, again, like something's just like kind of reached like a point there, and I feel like there's this energy of, especially since we have the Queen of Cups here, to take a moment and just kind of maybe establish. I don't know if it, because maybe for some it's like we've been trying to maybe find the security maybe in others, but this thing keeps happening, possibly this is just an idea that maybe there's just a need to kind of be with oneself for a little while, just kind of sit with that. And because that's interesting too, I'm even thinking with because you got the Sun card here, and the Strength card is Leo. Maybe this is a time to just kind of, just do some things for you for a little while. Just kind of focus on yourself, focus on doing some things that can just kind of uplift you, to kind of shift this vibrational thing in a sense. Hmm. Let me get a little bit more with the Sun before we close out here, Aquarius. Alright, Aquarius. So the Sun card is clarified by the Five of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Judgment card, and then the Ten of Pentacles here. And the Five of Swords and the Seven of Wands are pretty harsh cards, I feel. It's like, I feel like almost for some there's been this like critiquing type of energy that we may have been receiving, especially maybe if we've been trying to establish these boundaries, and maybe there's been this critique or this kind of harsh energy of something that's going around here, and it really is, I feel like, affecting your security here. Just things haven't been feeling stable. And with the Judgment card being here, that's interesting that you got the Judgment, the World, and the Fool, because those, it's just like where something is like, something needs to be, is being changed out here in a sense. It's just like it's almost like we're reestablishing like this new type of thing here. But I do feel like for some though, it's just like because there's something I feel like is needing to be realized and why these situations keep happening, if this is like a repeat thing that we're noticing. And not to necessarily run away from this thing, because you can move places, change locations, but if we don't deal with the issues, they're just going to pop up in different types of ways there, believe me. And yeah, just something to think about there, Aquarius. But I think we'll wrap this up. But if anything resonated with you, I feel kind of that when I feel, if you know someone who's sharing this, let's move on from that. If you know someone if you know someone sharing this, if you know someone who may be going through something like this, Aquarius, kind of maybe share this. Maybe this can give like a, because it seems like maybe there's this, I don't know if there's this fear of not, wanting to, or what that could be. But and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit here, Aquarius, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Sheridan Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, geek out when the Queen of Cups pops up there. That's one of Cancer's cards. And it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. And you got the Five of Wands here. And it feels like that there's this conflict here that's kind of going down here with whatever someone's doing without consent, or this establishment of boundaries, or this question of security. Just like a lot of things are feeling kind of precarious right now. And I feel like that the energies are trying to get you to just kind of brainstorm on, or just kind of sit with like what is going on with that, why do we feel this lack of security somewhere, why we're having trouble putting up these boundaries, or that things are being taken without our consent, or let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Looks like you get a couple there, Aquarius. Oh. Thank you. Interesting. Alright, so you have the 47th card here, which is the go to distance, and then you have the 8th card here, which is the community card. And for some, I do feel like that it just, there's this energy of, for some, I feel like there's a need to it's to remove ourselves from this energy, to go the distance, to put some distance behind this possibly. But I don't feel like it's necessarily, though we want to be careful about dealing with this in a running type of place, though. I do feel like as we're, once that dust kind of settles, for making this move possibly to just allow yourself to kind of sit with that and reflect with that a little bit, what happened in that situation there. And I do feel like whatever this is, this if there has been this breach of boundaries or things that consent or lack of security there, to share this with your community as it makes sense. This may, like I was talking about, with the Hierophant, reaching out to maybe someone with some wisdom on this thing, or just to maybe able to give some advice, or because I like that this little giraffe taking care of this, or this big giraffe taking care of this little giraffe, but. Yeah, just something to think about there, Aquarius. But I am gonna leave that there. But you stay safe out there with this energy here, And again, I wouldn't tell you what to do, but it is something where just kind of be mindful of others, just you're kind of taking advantage of you, or trying to put you where you feel like your security is at danger, or something along those lines, Aquarius. And you're absolutely Queen of Cups. Raise your vibration to the roof. Take care of yourself in processing all of this thing, because there's very interesting energy there. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.